All right, Shalom Akim. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and the glory to Yahushai, Barak HaKodash, and of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that were well a great millstone, and also salutations to all you sincere Akim preaching this word in all truth and in sincerity. All right, so what you see here is, a video that I had seen, as a pop-up. And this video, I actually watched about the first 30 seconds of it. I didn't really get a chance to watch the full thing. But just the first, 30 seconds of the video is showing you the direction that we're heading, towards prophecy. Okay, prophecy is going to be fulfilled, and pretty much as you look at the image on the left, what you see is the charagma. Okay, now what you see on the left is what Esau wants in the future, if he could have the future. As the scripture says, he's appointed bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, he has a expiration date. Him and his empire, his system. But the video was telling you that people are going to be connected, or would be connected to a biometric, digital system in which you would need a microchip implanted in your flesh to operate within that society. So, according to the scriptures, that's the MOTB, the mark of the beast, or that's spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter, which I'm not going to get. You can read yourself. But in the video, it was clearly talking about that and other technologies that he wants to ultimately perfect and use within his new system, his new world order, I should say, that he wants on the earth. Okay, which is the image of the beast. Okay, because the beast is going to be the ones, the beast is going to be the governments, the countries, okay, that big military alliance that is going to enforce this system, this mark of the beast. And the beast is known as NATO and the EU, okay, which are Edomite countries. All right, the Edomites are you so-called white people. Okay, and we call you the devil according to the truth and what the scriptures say. All right. So yeah, it clearly showed you that, before 2025, they are saying that these things are going to be accomplished, man. And as far as all the other technologies that they're speaking of within that video, in this video, a lot of those technologies they're never going to get. But one thing for sure is they are going to push the charagma, which is that microchip. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get these scriptures, and I'm going to start in the book of Psalms. Okay. So this is Psalms chapter 49, and I'm going to start at, let's see what 10 says. Now I'm going to just jump to the point in verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Now here it is, they're putting a date of 2025, 2050, 3069. Okay, they're giving you all these futuristic timelines, these future dates. When this devil, Esau, you Edomites, you don't know when the Lord is going to judge you. Okay, because according to the scriptures, the mark of the beast is the last key prophecy that we're actually waiting for. And when you start to mandate that, that's when the Lord is going to visit you. He's going to visit you, okay, with a very rough, violent approach. Okay, he is going to intervene for the children of Israel, starting with the elect. All right, but your inward thought, you think that you're going to continue on ruling for all eternity, that nobody can bring you down. Okay, that you're just going to keep on doing wickedness. Eventually, you're gonna bring the population down to 500 million. Okay, you're gonna push microchips on everybody. You're gonna make people cyborgs. You're gonna clone people at an all-time high. You're gonna travel the universe. You actually think these things, man, because of the prideful nature that the Lord gave you. Okay, the Lord set you up. And you have a limit, okay? Although in your mind, you have no limit. But you have a limit. You have a time in which you're going to be destroyed, okay? When you're going to be taken out of power. And the last prophecy, like we've been saying, like the apostles and elders have been preaching, the last prophecy that we're actually waiting for is for you to come out with that chip, man. That biometric microchip, in which is going to have your information on, your money on, your keys on. Because everything's going digital. Okay, everything's going biometric. All right, you can ride the city bus nowadays in your major cities throughout the U.S. And these city buses, okay, you can pay with your card now. You can actually download an app that uses Bluetooth and biometrics to present your bus pass without having to touch anything, without having to dish out any cash. Okay, so we're in those times where this thing is about to be mandated. And he wants to tell you 2025. In all reality, we don't know. But the way things are going right now, especially with the jab, and with all these, with all the currency and everything, it could be before 2025, all right? Because our apostles, we believe that it's getting down to the wire, man. Okay, you could feel it like within the next few years, something, if it's not pushed, if this is not mandated, you're going to start to see more and more people with this, okay, technology inserted into their flesh. But these devils, man, they think that they're going to rule forever. So I'm going to read this again. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. You see, they believe they're going to colonize and conquer the planet Earth and go to Mars. You have that damn cyborg, Elon Musk, which is heavily behind these brain chips and, the whole Neuralink and microchipping people, talking about he wants to go to Mars. Okay, he wants people to sign up to be the first people to colonize Mars. All right, in the near future. So they don't actually believe that they're going to be destroyed. They don't think that nobody's ever going to come and take them out of power. But that is actually contrary to what the scriptures say. Now let's get this in Revelation chapter 13. And I'm going to start at 1. Salakia. Revelation 13 and chapter 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. You see, this beast is not talking about some mythological creature. It's not talking about an actual dragon or monster with 7 heads. And it's talking about a great military alliance. Okay. great countries that are going to form into one big power and conquer the planet. Okay, as it tells you in Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, into the hand of the wicked. And that wicked are you so-called white people, which are biblically known as the Edomites. So those seven heads with 10 horns is talking about NATO and the EU. But prior to them being NATO and the EU, you had different alliances, different countries that clicked up with the Roman Empire. Now today, the Roman Empire is reincarnated through the beast. Okay. Verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, which Esau, when he came into power, when he first came into power and the world, the known world, was in his was under his jurisdiction, was under his control, was during the time of the Greeks. Okay. And a little hint, a little clue, as of how we know the leopards are the Greeks. Okay. Alexander the Great, when he rode out into war, he wore a helmet with the leopard's head. And also, there was a garment that he would lay on his horses, and it was made of leopard hide. So we know he's the leopard. We know the Greeks are the leopard, all right? So, to add to what I was saying, I'm going to try to find you a little example of what I was speaking of right here. This is from that movie, I believe, Alexander the Great. And if you look at his horse and the mantle or the mat, his saddle, all right, is of leopard hide. Okay. There's no way around that, man. His helmet, you can't really see it, but it looks like a leopard or some type of a big cat. But here's a little illustration, and it shows you it again on his horse, the mantle or the what would you call it? Saddle. Once again, it has that leopard hide. There's another one. So you see it? That's why they were known, the Greeks were known as the leopard. And that was Esau coming into power the first time in the world. Okay, under the Greeks. They took down the Persians, which the Persians were the superpower or the world power before the Greeks came in. You see, so I'm going to read this again. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, which the bear today is known as Russia. Okay, the Russian bear. All right. So the beast was like unto a leopard. Okay. And his feet like unto a bear. Because the last country or the last sect of Esau that's going to be utilized is the Russians. Okay, the Russians are actually going to be the Edomite country that brings Esau's whole system down, because the Lord is going to utilize the Russians. Okay, the Lord is actually going to utilize the Russians in other countries such as China, Syria, Iran, parts of Africa, Persia, which is Iran, and they're gonna come together under the leadership of Rome. Slovakia, under the leadership of the Russians and the Chinese. Okay. It says, in his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Now, when you remember a lion or you think of a lion, You think of the king of the jungle. You think of power. You think of nobility. And Esau's rulership was fully established through Great Britain. Okay, so that lion represents Great Britain. And then you get America, which America is just an extension of Great Britain. Okay, they had the Revolutionary War, and they fought against Britain. All right, but that was that's the mouth of the lion. Okay. It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. It says, and as it were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, which is going into Rome. Okay, because Rome fell. You had Israelites that started taking out or winning credibility status within ancient Rome, and as they started to win status slowly but surely, they eventually overcame the Edomite Roman system and took it over, but before, Slakia. So as they took it over, old Rome, Edomite Rome, got taken down, It says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And it was healed, it came back, okay, during the Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. So it was the rebirth of these Edomites coming back into power, all right, because they started to take down, different places, that Jake was ruling within Europe. Okay, because at the time all the Edomites were forced out, and then they started to reestablish in the Caucasus, man. Okay, they started to reestablish themselves in the Caucasus, and the way they reestablished themselves was so subtle because some of them joined up with, some of them took on the religion of Islam, okay, which is where you get the Ottoman Turks, okay, and they fought against Constantinople, which at the time was ruled under Constantine, and it was known as the Byzantine or the Holy Roman Empire. You see, so they took them down, and then the Moors, and then they reestablished that, that rebirth, that Renaissance. All right. It says continuing verse 3, and all the world wondered after the beast, because when they came back into power, nobody could mess with them, man. To this day, nobody could mess with them. And then when they started to really show the world force, look at World War II, where they dropped those atom bombs, man. Okay, that really bugged the world out, man. Had the world tripping. Because they were at such a pinnacle, man. Had such great power. Verse 4, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? You see. Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Now, some of those great things that he's speaking, as of right now, okay, through his executive orders, through his secret plans, the secret council of the wicked, they want to exterminate the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, that's why they had different, plans that they execute, executive orders. such as Operation Wetback, King Alfred Plan, Rex 84, when they were spaying the Ephraimite woman on the island of Puerto Rico. They were actually taking the women and spaying them, man, so that their eggs cannot produce children. Which, that's genocide, bro. Look what they did to the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad. Okay, they wanted to execute them, man. Stole their land. Those are those great things that he's speaking, man. And blasphemies. What are some of the blasphemies he's saying? That he's the children of Israel. That he is God. Okay. That nobody could stop him. That he's never going to be taken out of power. It says, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. You see? So even there, it's giving him a time limit. All right. And we're approaching the end of that time. He is about to come out of power. He is about to be destroyed. This Ezekiel chapter 35. And I'm going to start at 10. It says, because thou hast said, these are some of the great things he's saying. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. Which those two nations, those two countries, is dealing with the kingdom of Judah, which are the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. The tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And then you got the kingdom of Israel, okay, or Samaria. And that's dealing with you Latinos and Native Americans, so-called, which was ran by Ephraim. Ephraim was Ephraim, the tribe of Joseph, so-called Puerto Ricans, are the head tribe. Okay, when you read in the book of Kings and Chronicles, all those wars, you had different other tribes come up, but it would always come back to Ephraim. All right, and it's, like I said, that's the head tribe. There's all the other, how can I say this? All the other 8 tribes. Gad, which are the Native Americans. Reuben, which are the Seminoles. Issachar, which are the Mexicans. Zebulon, which are the people from Guatemala to Panama. Naphtali, the people of Argentina to Chile. Okay, Asher, which are the Central Americans, are the people of Peru, Ecuador, okay, Colombia, Brazil. Okay, that's Asher. Who else did I forget? You got the so-called Cubans, which is Manasseh, and you have the so-called Dominicans, which are the tribe of Simeon. All right, that's the northern kingdom. Those two nations, those two kingdoms. Okay, because if you remember, during the time of Solomon, that's when the kingdom was split into 2. All right. So it says, and we will possess it, whereas Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was there. See the pride of this devil. He thinks that everything that he's doing, the Lord is okay with. Okay. Or certain things he's doing that the Lord justified him. Which, through prophecy, this was supposed to happen. But eventually, as the scripture says, our iniquity had an end. All right, we were supposed to be given our customs back. We were supposed to be told who we are. Okay. During the time of slavery, he was whooping the shit out of us. Not just the Negroes, but the Native Americans, Latinos as well. He was butchering us, whooping our ass. And keeping us from reading the scriptures, man. Keeping us from repenting and coming back to the Lord. Okay. So he has a heavy judgment coming for him, man. So verse 11. Therefore as I live, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. You see, because certain men on this side are going to receive spiritual power, and he's going to make himself known through his men. Certain brothers are going to perform miracles, and there's going to be no other explanation than that these men are prophets of the Lord. That it is the Lord, the Heavenly Father, doing these things, working these miracles and different judgments and actions through his men. Just like us preaching this word as of right now, this is not of us. This is not of man. This is of a supreme deity. This is of the God of the universe. And his name is Yahweh. And his only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. Through those men, through those deities, through those gods, we are gods, and we are going to be able to perform great things through them. And we are going to judge you. And it's going to be known that the Lord exists through the judgments you're about to receive. All right. Verse 12, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel. You see, he's spoken against the tribes that you're going to destroy us, exterminate us, that you're going to microchip us. Okay, that you're going to make us perpetual slaves. And not just us, but also our land. Okay, that you're going to keep it for yourself forever after you done conquered it, after you done said it was yours. After World War II, with the Balfour Declaration, when you declared the land of Israel yours and gave it to a false tribe. You guys call your tribe Amalek the real Jews, but they're not. They're the synagogue of Satan. Okay. It says, saying, they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. You see, Esau is just going to use and abuse us until the last member of the elect is sealed and the Lord comes back to avenge us. But until then, okay, he is going to use and abuse us to the best of his ability, because the ones he's got that he's going to abuse and fucking, destroy are 2/3 of our people, man. You refuse to wake up. So therefore your daddy E, is going to use and abuse you. He is going to consume you until the point he enforces the microchip on you. And 2/3 of our people, they are going to get microchipped. Okay, not every single one of them, but those that the Lord sanctioned to. Okay, because no 2/3 is going to make it, but not every 2/3 is going to get microchipped. Okay, some are going to get killed with plagues. Some are going to get killed by troops. Some are going to starve to death. Okay. This is continuing verse 12. It says, they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth you have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. See those great things he spoke. Okay, the Lord's hearing everything he's doing. The secret things he's saying behind closed doors, the Lord's hearing that. Thus saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, when the whole world, it's like when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. So after the 1,000 years, when the kingdom of heaven on earth, the kingdom of Israel, Yahweh Shai's kingdom, is fully established. Okay, the last stone of gold, the last gemstone is put in. And everybody's rejoicing, even these other nations. You are going to be destroyed. You are going to be no more. Okay. And thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, the Lord says this. Okay. All over the scriptures, Ezekiel 35. Okay, Isaiah 14. Okay, Obadiah. Okay, Revelation chapter 19. Talks about you being destroyed, man. Okay. Talks about you being annihilated as a nation, man. And that's going to happen. Chapter 14. Slakia 15. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. And they shall know that I am Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. So you think you're going to continue on ruling forever? 2025, 2050, year 3069. It's not going to be so. All right, you have an expiration date. Okay, and you're starting to stink. That expiration date is coming real soon. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, Waha, Harakah Kudash, and of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that rule well at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect.